We're live right now?
Yes.
Alrighty. Guys, welcome back to another podcast. We have a little bit of issue there with the sound, but I think we are live and good to go. Welcome back to number 71, No Sugar, No Cream podcast. It's been a little bit. Hope you guys missed us and couldn't sleep without us. We missed you guys. We're back on dry land. Tim, I think it's dry land. I don't see any ship anywhere. I did bring a little memento from the cruise ship. I got a little here. What do you call it? They make the out of towels. They make the animals, and I brought a pig off of the ship. Which I think he was the only. I'm pretty sure the guy we had the same room the whole time, and he never was. At one point, Dale and I looked at each other and was like, "Wait, he's never made us any towel animals." And then finally, we got this one, which is like a pre-made one that's already
home.
Yeah, I just put it in my leg.
Stole it from Carnival?
No, that was made. Reporting me. It was a gift. It was a gift. It was a nice little. So it makes a perfect little nice little thing to have in the suitcase. So yeah, that was my little memento from the cruise. But no, seriously, like we did 4 cruises, back-to-back cruises. We had a blast. It was basically our Christmas vacation. And we started around the 1st of December, and yeah, so the guy in our guy was hilarious, super nice guy, but he never he probably didn't care. We never said anything about it, so he knew that we really didn't care too much. But he never had. I don't think I ever saw an animal in our room until like the last day, and there was this pig, and then I grabbed this pig and put it in my luggage. But guys, we're back with another podcast. Glad to be back. Was sick for a couple weeks there. The over Christmas and New Year's I was sick, so that wasn't any fun. Didn't do too much at all. But I am pretty much back to 100% now. So excited to be back on the podcast. A little late this week, but we should be back to our regular scheduled time on Tuesday at 5:00 starting next week, and we'll be excited to be doing the podcast for you again. Tim, how you feeling?
Well, not bad.
Awesome. It's nice to be back on the podcast, and we haven't been up to too much. We had a little bit of excitement today with what do you call those birds? They were
probably vultures.
Vultures. There's vultures. There's looked like a rabbit that was in the road, and these vultures.
Rabbit had been run over, and he was in the middle of the road. The carcass was in the middle of the road.
Yeah, and they were going to town on that thing, and I didn't realize how big they were. I mean, I just never seen one so close. They were what 15 feet from us. I mean, we got a really good view of them, and Tim had come running out of the house. It was like heard a weird noise. I think what happened, one of the birds had landed on the side of the house, and it was really probably only was less than 10 feet from Tim, and he probably heard their freaking talons hit the probably grabbed the gutter.
Probably, yeah. And they're so big.
Oh my gosh, they're so big. I got a nice video of it, and maybe I'll send it. You can post that or something.
Because this is a development, and cars are coming by, and when the cars would come, they were very aware of the cars. They would fly up and land on the top of a roof. And when we were out there watching, they went to our neighbor's roof. But I guess they were probably on my roof when I was in my studio.
But what cracked me up, one of them, at least the first couple times the car came by, one just kind of shuffled his feet to the side. He wasn't scared one bit.
Yeah.
The other one flew away, and then they made it like a weird dog noise.
Yeah,
I was like,
sounded like a dog. Yeah,
that was crazy. That was a little bit of excitement today.
And first there were 2, but then they got on the group text.
And
said, "Hey, there's a good carcass here."
I never got to look at that.
There were 4 then.
Did you get a video of the 4 of them,
no,
or a picture? I got a nice picture of them on the neighbor's roof. That looked pretty cool. But yeah, they're. I quickly was like observing them, like appreciative of them cleaning up the road because, for one thing, I mean, it would have been easy to remove. It was just a piece there, but well, either way, it's going to look nasty. Once a rabbit gets hit by a car, it's going to look nasty on the road. But they were picking that up so fast and cleaning that thing up. I mean, there's probably nothing on the road hardly at all right now. They pick it down into the bones.
I suppose could be
pretty much, right?
And there's a big development here. I mean, there's many probably within 1 mile of my house. There's probably 200 houses. I mean, these are a lot of different developments connected to each other. I mean, I can get to my bank and to restaurants without even leaving the development. I just go through the back development, go with a couple different developments, and then pull out right by where I'm going to.
Which you couldn't do that when you first lived there.
No, I couldn't because it was blocked off.
It was really interesting. You were the first neighborhood.
So there's a lot of residents. There is a big park that you can walk, that I go walking every day, but I was going late. It was dark. Sometimes I don't get my walk in, but I'm determined to get my walk in, and so I have a light I put on my forehead. It was starting to get dark, and a woman came out of the entry to the park, and she had a dog with her, and she said, "Be careful, there's a pack of coyotes out there." And I'm like, coyotes? I'd never heard that. So I got myself a really big stick. I wasn't going to stop walking. Got myself a really big stick that I was going to try to fight them off. Or probably if there had been a pack of them, that wouldn't have done any good. But I was going to go down fighting, but I wasn't going to miss my walk. And so I never saw a coyote. But one day, broad daylight, I was all getting my mail, and a coyote was on the lawn. He was 5 feet away from me. He was kind of circling me, watching me warily. And I'm standing there just in disbelief that there's a coyote on my lawn in this development. This is not rural. This is suburbia. This is a whole bunch of houses. Like I said, probably at least 200 houses within a mile radius. Wouldn't you think? This is not a countryside. And there's wildlife here. Crazy. Then he walks up the street and he kept turning around and looking at me. And then he poops on the sidewalk. I watch him walk up the street about.
Don't give one bit, does he?
Care.
Didn't care one bit.
Care.
He's like, "You watching me? I see you picked up those little dogs' poop. Why don't you pick up mine? A real animal's poop, not one of those domesticated little puppies." Yeah, we got a nice wooded area just right here, but it's not very big.
No, it's not wooded. It's just
but you don't have to go too far to be in some wooded areas. It's mostly residential.
I have some
for sure.
There was some animal in my backyard. Was it deer? I have a video of it. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Chupacabra.
I did make a video of it. Was it deer? I forgot. I don't think it was a predator. I think it was deer. A couple of deer right in the backyard, if I remember right. So I guess they've gotten used to being around humans. They have no fear of humans. So they been living around us for a while, so they're not fearful.
Yeah, my duplex in Northwest Arkansas, it was we were right there in a residential area, but there's some it's basically there's some big deer in that area. Basically they kind of just got pinned in probably. From over the years, but because there is some wooded area in there, because there's this whole trail that goes from all the way through Northwest Arkansas, and there's trees all around that walkway. There's quite a bit of trees at certain spots, and then once you get further up into Northwest Arkansas, north of Rogers especially, there's a lot more wooded area, but there were some decent sized deer, but definitely not as big as South Dakota deer. Probably some of the biggest deer once you get up further north. Hunters would be, if they've never hunted in the north and they go hunting for deer, they'll be amazed. They're like twice as big up there, wouldn't you say? The deer in South Dakota?
Yeah, could be. It depends on what kind you're talking about. I'm trying to responding to Isaiah 93153. Said hi, and I said hello, hi, Isaiah. So, okay, maybe this is an appropriate time to interject. We're trying to update our viewing experience for you. And so we got a new piece of equipment. It's right here. It's
fancy,
Focusrite Scarlet,
pretty.
And so now, and I don't know why we should have done this like 70 podcasts ago, but my computer is what's controlling it, not my main computer. But in order to do that, I had to have either a cord or a new interface, which we got a new interface. They're not that expensive. And so now I'm controlling all of that here, and I can go on the sites and I can actually see comments and respond in real time, which is normal. I mean, we appreciate you. I think it was on the ship, and on the ship I had to use my laptop, and we got on the Instagram, and there were a whole bunch of comments that we'd completely missed. And we felt bad about it. Said we got to do better. We have to do better. So
yeah, we didn't realize we were getting so many comments.
We didn't
on Instagram.
And so
because that all disappears after.
It disappears. We don't see it after on Instagram anyway. It disappears. I think. Let's see, YouTube. Anyone watching on and we're on live in 5 channels, so it's kind of hard to keep up. But let's see.
Well, I was going to joke. You said we should have been doing this 70 podcasts ago. 70 podcasts ago, we weren't even facing each other.
Yeah, if you watch some of our early podcasts, like number 1, 2, 3, this is 71, by the way, 71. And the earlier ones, we were actually facing away from each other. So stupid.
Because we had it split into two videos. Yeah.
We've come a long way, people.
A little bit.
So and I was listening to the audio. The audio sounds really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to be monitoring this a little bit.
Yeah.
And make sure we see. Oh, Seth Ohms just joined the Instagram.
Oh,
wow, Seth. Hello, Seth. How are you doing?
Yeah, I said hi.
Seth Ohms just said hi.
I wonder if somebody else say, all right, this is getting a little ridiculous.
Hello, Seth.
We just talked through it the whole time. Wow. My favorite podcast. Sorry, guys, I'm a little distracted. I'm talking to one of the people from my favorite podcast, Tim Wolf. Oh, my gosh. Well,
we're nothing if not goofy on occasion.
we try. Got to go viral with one of those funny clips. We got to hit the. But
oh yeah,
speaking of viral,
so
last time we talked to the ship.
We did. What was the last one we did? Was it
last one was
on
basically
the ship,
right before we got off the ship.
And so, I've had 7 Christmas songs, some of them from previous years, 4 newly released in 2025, and I had clips and 3 were from previous years, and clips of all 7, and I had 65 clips, and I started posting 2 a day on the 5 platforms for a month leading up to Christmas. 6 of them are upbeat, different, happy or danceable, or polka is one. Dance the polka to it. One of them is sad. It's called Please Come Home for Christmas. And once you know it, the sad one is the one that got traction and just took off. And it's still gaining on Instagram. This is on Instagram. It has over 325,000 views, which is a record for me. I have a few over 100. I have 3 videos over 100, one over 200. And in addition to the Please Come Up for Christmas. And that is a big, big deal for me. And thank you all who watched it and liked it and commented. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. While I'm talking about that, of course, we mentioned that John Mayer liked that video. And I had another celebrity like 2 of my videos, Joe Jonas from the Jonas Brothers. And it's the real Joe Jonas. It's verified, and he's got like, I don't remember, 5 million, in the millions of views. So it's the real Joe Jonas.
Not the bonus Jonas. One of the real 3.
One of the real 3. Joe Jonas liked 2 of my videos. He liked
DNCE
Christmas and Stephanie, which is not even a Christmas song. Well, I mean, doesn't have to be a Christmas song to like it, I guess. But so I'm very, very pleased and flattered that I'm getting that. Helps me through the difficult times sometimes, knowing that I'm getting that kind of response. So thank you all for who have watched that Please Come Home for Christmas and got it up to the 325,000.
And if anybody's wondering about the difficult times, that's on me. That's just having to deal with me. That's all my fault. I take full responsibility for that. Yeah. So, but you guys know that. I mean, you've seen the podcast. You know what Tim goes through on a weekly basis. So, but yeah.
So you've been feeling ill for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks. I was sick coming home. What was it? When I got off the ship, feeling crappy. It basically started. Yeah, the next day after I got off the ship, and then I had to kill all of the day I was traveling because I didn't leave L.A. My flight wasn't till 11:30. PM. Which I still had some fun. So I was feeling crappy, taking some PM, not AM. So I had a whole day I went and played some poker. That was a lot of fun. Didn't play the best, but I had a good time and killed the day. But yeah, I was having to take 3 ibuprofen, which helped a little. Definitely helped some. Took 3 ibuprofen every 5 hours. And then, so then I flew out late that evening, and then so I didn't get home till like 6 o'clock in the morning. So went to bed and was sick for another week after that, plus, and really just feeling 100% probably yesterday, if not today. So I was up into the feeling 70% Sunday and stuff, and getting up there and got to enjoy shout out to the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers for making it to the playoffs. Super exciting. That was a crazy game. It was Aaron Rodgers' team was up by 2 and they went to kick the field goal. They missed the field goal to be up by 3. So then was it Ravens? I think it was Ravens, right?
No. Yeah, it was the Ravens. The Ravens in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Ravens come back down to make the field goal. So all they need is a field goal because of the missed extra point.
They got it all the way down to like the 20-something yard line.
And just like the previous kicker missed for the other team, they missed
to the right, shanked it to the
right. It's crazy, and that was it.
Game over.
Because
they waited until 2 seconds left. They're actually the coach was standing next to the referee watching the time go down to tell him when to call the timeout. Yeah. And he called the timeout with 2 seconds left, which is basically enough to snap the ball. And then the play is in motion, of course. And even though time's out, whatever happens, the game's over.
Yeah,
that's the best way to do it, to make absolutely 100% sure. The
95% of the time he's going to make that,
Yeah.
It's just it was just like a 30
and even extra 40 points, that the guy from Pittsburgh missed the extra point. They said he'd been one of the most consistent extra pointers. He hadn't missed one since years. It's been years. I've forgotten.
Something like that. So, yeah.
I want to say 2023. He had been so consistent, one of the most consistent, and he misses that. It would have then that would have taken a field goal to tie. If he had made that extra point and Baltimore had made their 3-point their field goal, then it would have gone to overtime. But neither of those things happened, and so
they didn't have their best receiver, so that was the game was extra struggle for the Steelers. But I guess he's going to be back for the first playoff game, so that'll be exciting. Looking forward to that. Love to cheer for somebody like Aaron Rodgers. Is what 40 turned 41.
Oh, it was just 41. Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's just 41. He turned in December or 42.
Either was telling me that he was mic'd up and he was asking, "You want to get helped up by an old man on the field or something?" Wasn't it you?
Yes, that was it. Was hilarious. He was mic'd up. Yeah, and then you had Phillip Rivers, who was 44, came back to play it was crazy for the Colts.
For the Colts. And
Colts guys great job. He did a great job there. Just a bunch of people was injured. And the defense super struggled, but he was playing fantastic. It was they were giving up too many points, as I think what the main issue, and just lack of. I mean, they were on fire. They lost tons of good players.
So many, they had so many injuries. My buddy, he lives in Indiana, and he's a rabid Colts fan, and he kept me up to date on all that was going on. And
rabid, not confused with Rabbit that died today. Rest in peace. Sorry, that was. But yeah, shout out to Jimmy and his Colts. You know, that was they just got dealt just injury after injury, and then you lose your quarterback. And what amazing to bring somebody, bring back Rivers, who has 10 kids. He's a grandpa now, and still playing like he's in his 30s. Did fantastic. And but they were able to pull it back out. They had, oh my gosh, they ended up having 8 losses in a row or something. I think it was really bad. It was something bad like that. Yeah.
I'm cleaning up the videos because we had 2 false starts today. And if any,
we're the first time with this new little device here, but seems to be going really well. It's so
can't hear us, tell us.
Of course, and
I mean that's a joke right there. I mean, obviously, they're not going to hear me say that, so they're not going to be able to tell me. So
we're good. Are we good? But oh yeah, you might want to double check it right now too, because it looks like it's frozen on mine.
No, it's not frozen.
But so yeah, it was just. It looks like it's good now. Yep. All right, still looking good. Hey, but you know that's how we do it. We're going to be the number 1 live podcast. You know, which Kill Tony always says they're the number 1 live podcast, but they're technically not live. So we want to be that podcast. So if you're on Facebook, especially, please share the podcast. That really helps us out.
This interface gives you a radio voice.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's the first comment you said that it sounded good. Awesome.
At least it sounds in my headphones.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. Where you're at, let us know. Any comments? Now we're actually reading the comments.
Yeah, if you have a question, feel free
to. We were ignoring, or not ignoring, but we did not see the comments. Now we are seeing them, actively trying to see them and interact with you. So,
yeah. What? Other excitement news. Celtics have been playing pretty well. They're second or third. They're still second. They lost last night, but they're still, as far as their ranking and everything, they're looking pretty good. But they just sometimes will play off. They'll have on and off, which for the most part they've been consistent. I mean, they have a lot more wins than losses, but usually Tim would be the one talking about the Celtics, but I'm the new big Celtics fan. Tim's Celtic card has been withdrawn.
I hear you, but I'm looking. I might be seeing some technical difficulties here. I think we might not be on Tim Walter, my personal Facebook page. Looks I may have been too zealous in getting rid of pages. It's not on there, but it is on Tim Wolf. So I mean, we're learning. We're
oh, not your personal. Okay, bummer. Yeah,
it's not on my first.
Hey, we're getting there.
You know,
but no,
it's on Tim Wolf though. It's live now. I think I might have inadvertently made it go unlive on personal. Yeah, it's not live on Tim Walter right now. Shucks.
Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, oops. For those of you who watch on there.
First podcast of the new year. First podcast of the new year.
Yeah. I mean, You would think that we would, after 70 podcasts, but we're still improving, trying to implement new systems,
We're
trying
just
to,
little babies.
trying to get there. And what we really need is to get to the point where we have actual technical experts who's handling these things for us. So we're a bit of ways away from
once
that.
we sell our podcast to a large media company, then we'll do that. But for now, here we are, live and in charge. What's wrong with my voice? I sound a little weird. Not what.
So we didn't talk about. Have we talked about on the podcast what we did in L.A.? We had a day in L.A., which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
we went to Universal.
We ran around like a bunch of little kids.
Yeah,
I love how much fun you had, Tim. That was such a great time. I really
went to
doing something different.
Universal Studios, right?
Went to Universal Studios in Hollywood, and rode on a number of rides. Tim riding his first ride, and since he was a kid, basically,
probably hadn't been on a ride.
You went on at least a couple, and we went on the Mummy ride there. And there was a few different ones we went on. I had a great time, but I used to be a huge roller coaster person, but man, after some shaking, I ended up getting like a dizzy and stuff. I can't handle it like I used to. Oh, I used to be able to do like roller coaster after roller coaster, and I mean, it's not too bad at Universal. Some of the rides can be a little rougher than others, but I found out quickly it doesn't help at all to read the information. They put all the same warnings at all the rides. There's no
matter how severe it is, or not.
No matter how severe, they make sure we don't want to get into any trouble here, so we're going to put all the warnings on all the rides, all the same rides, so you don't really know how severe. But you could ask them, and they'll tell you. But we had a great time. We did a tour, a Hollywood tour that went for like an hour. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it was
had like a 3D glass part to it.
Yeah,
had a Jaws part to it. Had the old
a number of movies. Sets they had
movies. So were they just telling you had to interact with things?
Psycho, the one, the Alfred Hitchcock. There was
a
scene
you have
there.
Bates Motel thing, which was
Motel scene.
Which that's an offshoot of that, right? It's connected to the bigger world of I think of Psycho, because I think he's the one that is the killer in Psycho. I'll have to maybe Google that.
And they had it set up so that as we're driving by the hotel, there's an actor playing, made up to look like the character in the movie, and he sees us come by. He's carrying what looks like a wrapped up body, putting it in the trunk, and then he pulls out a knife and starts chasing our bus. It was part of the whole thing.
So one of
he gets paid. He's probably like, hey, he probably tells his parents, I got an acting job in Hollywood.
One of the slower tourists was being placed in the back of the vehicle. So yeah, you got to make sure you don't
want to be the slowest.
You don't want to be the
and
slowest.
And then War of the Worlds set, I think recreation set, and talked about, she had her thing down. She was a great tour guide, and she had her spiel down. She probably does it multiple times a day, and it was quite well done. Yeah,
it's so funny. We were basically doing the rides by what was the shortest one. I saw it said 5 minutes, and that wasn't even a priority for that ride, but that was definitely one of the best ones. Was seeing that was like an hour plus show, and you got to see a lot of different sets, and then experience some live action while you were like riding around in a trolley. The craziest one was where, what was it? The King Kong one or whatever, or there was a one where it locked you in place and then the whole thing moved.
Right.
That was crazy.
They said, we're going to take you in, and these are big, tall buildings. I mean, big, like huge warehouses, like 20-foot high ceilings. So you can put whatever kind of a set you want. And they said, they're not filming, and she set it up perfectly. We're not filming in this particular studio number 49 or whatever it was. And we're going to go in there, and the doors open, we go in, but it really was set up as a experience for us. We were led to believe that it was just a set, but for filming a movie, but it was really a set it was kind of a ride within the ride.
Yeah, and there was several of those on that. It was crazy.
And so we get in there, and all of a sudden we stop, and then action and subway floors are crashing down.
They got water pouring in.
Yeah,
they're like
we got wet a little
hundreds
bit,
of gallons.
and the thing is going like this. The trolleys that we're in, that's quite a sophisticated operation to do that, really.
Yeah.
To implement that. I mean, they don't get any. They go all out because you pay a flat fee to go in, and you don't get any extra. You don't pay for any ride. You just choose the ride. So I guess enough people are coming there that they can put new rides because there's a lot of money invested. Of course, the ticket price is pretty expensive, but
I think it was about $150 was the tickets, but you get your money. What money is worth? I compare it to something like going to what you got in Nashville. You got east of us. You have Dollywood or whatever, but not just Dollywood. That town. There's that town that's right near there.
Gatlinburg. Is that
and so like
I've never been. Yeah,
it's like a lot like Branson in a way. So you're gonna pay for each place you go to. You're gonna pay $20 to $50 for the experience of each one of those. Man, after 3 places, you've spent more than going to Disney World or Universal Studios like we did. So, like, you go to a place like that, you're going to quickly spend more. And then, I mean, that's for a family, like going on a cruise is such a big bang for your buck. But we had a big thing we missed that was closed down, I guess, at the time is the Water World. There's like a half an hour show, and I saw a clip of it again the other day. They have stunts going on like crazy. People going falling from like 50 feet up in the air into the water and stuff, and ramping jet skis and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of Water World. I just like anything where there's a lot of water, and the Water World is like very much like the earth is now covered with water, and there's no land that anybody knows of. There's rumors of land, but nobody knows where it is or how to get to it. But Water World is very much. I love that movie, which lost a lot of movie money too, but was
it was considered a bust.
Was considered a bust. Probably made its money back on DVD back in the day. They can make their money back through DVD.
It was a low point for the actor who had a resurgence when he did the Western movie.
Oh yeah, she's done quite a bit.
But that was a low point for him. He was regarded. It was a failure. Forgot his name.
I love that movie.
His name.
I even made a T-shirt that had probably confused people. Waterworld, the next Carnival cruise or something. I forgot what it said exactly, but I had a poster of the Waterworld, and then I made some kind of reference to Waterworld, the next Carnival ship or something. Basically, implying my perfect carnival ship or carnival experience would be something related to like Waterworld.
Yellowstone, the show
Yellowstone. Killing it with that.
He's no longer on there, but
he was on there for 5 seasons.
I mean, he made it famous. He was the leading
character. But then you had the creator of that, who's just killing it with a bunch of shows.
Taylor.
Thank you. Yeah. Taylor
Hendricks or
oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my.
Get your Google out there, buddy.
Yeah, I got it. Taylor Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan.
Who's the actor name? Get the actor.
And then
so we know what we're talking about.
But yeah, I've definitely talked about all the different Taylor Sheridan shows. I'm in the middle right now, close to finishing it. Just a couple episodes left of this season. It's the second season. Oil Man, amazing. Yeah, it's the 3rd season. And it's fantastic. Yellowstone cast. Kevin Costner.
Oh yeah, probably the high point of his career was, or at least his younger career, was Dances with Wolves. Remember how big that was? And I'm from South Dakota, and of course, South Dakota doesn't get much, cool stuff like that. So South Dakotans milked it. Oh, and if you get on the interstate, I-90, and you'll see signs. Dances with Wolves was filmed here, because they filmed a lot of it in South Dakota.
So, and yeah, the early 90s, he killed it. Check out these in a row. First, you got 1989 Field of Dreams.
Yes.
1990, Dances with Wolves.
Yes.
Then 92, Bodyguard.
Yeah, Bodyguard was huge with not Mariah Carey. What's her name?
Not as big, but I thought it
the
did.
Preacher's, was he doing the Preacher's wife? Was that him, or was that probably what was her name? Who was the actor? She died. One of the greatest vocalists of all time. Not Mariah Carey, but she passed. She was in The Bodyguard.
Oh yeah, Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston. She was in The Preacher's Wife, but I don't think Kevin Costner was. And then what else? And then Waterwheel came along, and I kind of put the end.
95.
Yeah,
95. That was kind
so
of
89 to 95. He was killing it, and then Waterwheel came along and it was a dud, lost money, and he kind of lost his rep after that. What happened after that? Anything notable?
Really? Yeah, there wasn't anything for a while after that.
Yeah, so he lost his rep. He was blamed for that, and really not his fault. I mean, he not his fault that Waterworld costs a lot of money to make, and but I believe that
he had The Postman in 97. I think, how did that do? That, oh man, that was almost 3 hours long. I've never seen that, but I know
for a period of about 5 years, he was had to have been the top movie box office guy in all of Hollywood. I mean, those 5 years. The Bodyguard and Dances with Wolves, and you mentioned a few others.
Yes, so The Postman was made for only 30 million, and he made 80 million, and that was his runner-up after that huge hit. So that was a little bit of a redeeming, was The Postman. Nothing crazy, but The Postman was a success. But yeah, it's so true. I love that movie, but it definitely did hurt him. And he didn't do as much.
Movies are a fickle thing, and music too. I mean, so let's talk music. So I watched something I've been wanting to watch, and I watched it a couple nights ago, Yacht Rock, which is an interesting phenomenon. If you're into music, and Yacht Rock is a genre that was created like 30 years after the music came out. And if you have access to, I think, is it on HBO Max? I think is where I saw it. We have so many channels, like, I think. Anyway, Yacht Rock. That might be it. And it defines the music of, Steely Dan and Christopher Cross, and so they go into their parameters of what the Doobie Brothers, the second iteration of Doobie Brothers with Michael McDonald. And coincidentally, Michael McDonald sang backup. He has such a distinctive voice. He sang backup on a bunch of Steely Dan songs. And so how it was created, it started as a joke. It started as a skit. They were making fun of the music. But it's stuck now, and people actually dress up. They wear sailor captain's hats, and they wear sailor uniform, even though it really doesn't have anything to do with sailing, except there was one Yacht Rock song that had something about sailing. It was a Christopher Cross song. I think it was called Sail Away. But anyway, that music was the top of the world, and very sophisticated, a lot of jazz influence to it. And the people who created the term say why some other musicians who are in there might sound similar, but they can't be called Yacht Rock because they don't have certain of the characteristics. Like, for example, the Eagles were kind of easily listening from that era, but there's no really jazz influence. So they say Eagles, not Yacht Rock. Steely Dan is considered, some of Steely Dan is considered, especially Asia, the album Asia, Peg. They interviewed a whole bunch of Michael McDonald was interviewed for the thing. But anyway, talk about trying to stay on top. So Christopher Cross came out with an album that just cleaned up. It won 5 Grammys. It won the big 3, which is Song of the Year, Album of the Year, and Record of the Year. And it won Best New Artist. And that had not been done until the last few years. Billie Eilish did that. So we're talking from about 1980 to about 2020. So about 40 years, roughly. Don't quote me on that. Sail Away. Yes, sir. Yes, Sail Away. That's the song. Yeah, I think that's what you're saying. That must be, is that the song, or the song that is the only one that talks about yacht, is Sail Away, right, by Christopher Cross. So anyway, and so I always had in my mind that Christopher Cross was really cheesy. I mean, I remember his music, but I didn't really buy any of his records back when I was buying vinyl and records. And I have a completely different opinion of him. He's an incredibly great guitar player, which really doesn't come out. He actually filled in off the cuff for Deep Purple for Ritchie Blackmore when Ritchie Blackmore couldn't make it, was ill or something, and he, without ever practicing, he just walked up and performed and did a great job by all accounts. Great guitar player, but the problem is after that peak, there was only way to go down. And I got some other comments I'm going to have to talk to. Casquicest of my Thin Line Telecaster, thank you so much. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it. Man, I love that we're seeing comments now in real time.
That's cool. We used it on Instagram?
That's on Instagram. So Christopher Cross cleaned up, and after that, he fell off a cliff. Nothing after that did. He's still making records. He's still performing, but nobody's really heard his. He hasn't been on the charts for the most part, and it's really hard to stay on top. I guess this is the theme of what I'm saying. It's really hard. You get at the top, and it's really hard to stay on top. Music changed, and after 1980, early Yacht Rock was really big in the early 80s, and then music changed, and that type of music. Paul Simon. Yes, I am a Paul Simon fan. Yes, a phenomenal songwriter, amazing songwriter, that guy. I love how he completely shifted gears and went to South Africa and brought music from South Africa and added it into his music. That one album that I think that one album of the year that year. It's slipping my mind right now, the name of that album, but it completely shifted gears. He went from being singer-songwriter with, Simon and Garfunkel, and then went on his own, and then he completely, out of left field, he does that radically different stuff using African rhythms and that sort of thing. So Paul Simon, very, very highly skilled, highly great music, great music. Where was I at? What was I doing? So I was talking about how hard it is to stay on top. It really is, because opinions change. And even though you have great music, after a while, people are like, yeah, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. I mean, let's try something different. I mean, even subconsciously, we think that, So whether it's movies or any kind of art form, I think it's really hard. Graceland, thank you. Yes. Cassest is my resource. Graceland is the name of the album, Paul Simon album.
Do we have a Googler down in the chat for us?
Well, I'm going to guess they probably even know off the top of their head.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
So anyway, that Yacht Rock, and interesting, of course, Donald Fagen is one of two from Steely Dan, and most of them are quite happy to be on there because they're in there. Another one, Kenny Loggins, who I'm now have a new appreciation for Kenny Loggins, and he looks great. He's in his 70s. He looks phenomenal for his age. He had a great career with Loggins and Messina, and then he went solo, and he became what they call him, the movie soundtrack guy. I remember he did Footloose, the song Footloose, and then he did I'm All Right from Groundhog Day. No, not Groundhog Day.
Your hand's broken, Tim. What's wrong?
Caddyshack. And he had a lot of big hits from that, and also wrote the big hit from the Steely Dan when they got Michael McDonald and they won record song of the year, and then they said we'll never top that, and they did it again in the next year. So he songwriting with Michael McDonald. I mean, if you're into that kind of music, if you haven't seen the documentary, really amazing. But most of them, Kenny Loggins was on there, and Michael McDonald was on there. They're in their 70s now. Jay Graydon, a phenomenal, played the solo on Peg, considered one of the greatest guitar solos. Who else did they interview? They had a number of people, producers. They had Toto, members from Toto, the surviving members. Porcaro, the drummer passed. He was probably the most talented. The keyboard player, and then Paish, also from Toto. And then of course they did so many, they played on so many records because they were the call. How do they have time to have a band? Because they were also doing all the studio work. They played on so many records from the 80s. Good to see you. Were podcast. Glad to see you. I'm just rambling now. I've lost my train of thought. But anyway.
Well, to make reference to what we were talking about just a little bit earlier, I was looking up the Waterworld. So it had a budget of 175 million.
That was a lot of money.
That's crazy back then.
Or whatever.
I was like, what do you expect? But it did make 264.
Oh, it did. So it was profitable.
It was. I don't like, unless they're leaving out a big budget they had, because it still does say a massive loss, or maybe they're just counting domestically. It was still considered a bomb.
Well,
now they didn't make profit until that they did hit profit. It's saying in DVD sales and then TV. Yes. But if you look at these numbers, if that's what the budget was, 175, it made 90 million. So
yeah, but okay.
But then they might be leaving out a budget for sometimes it won't count like a budget for advertising or something. But yeah, I mean, in the long run, it was definitely profitable. But I enjoyed it. I mean, maybe parts of the storyline was maybe not as strong, but I love the concept of it. I was a big fan. But yeah, man, he hit a big. That was his. I mean, since the 90s, probably him doing Yellowstone. Like, he's done a number of good movies, but Yellowstone was just a rocket ship. That it just sucks that they wrote him out of the show and everything because he wanted to leave. He ended up doing his own movie, which was good, but not as good. I mean, I think he didn't do as well as he wanted in theaters, but he's doing like 3 parts to it. But yeah, Yellowstone has been amazing. Taylor is just killing it. I mean, watching Landman is fantastic. And then a couple other shows. But
anyway, I would like to go back to, if you allow me to go back to an older subject.
I will allow you.
Yacht Rock. And so, Donald Fagen, the famously irascible, irritated, grumpy, now old man guy for Steely Dan, his partner, Walter Becker, who invented the term gear acquisition syndrome, GAS. Actually, he called it guitar so musicians know about GAS, gear acquisition syndrome. He actually called it guitar acquisition syndrome, but the G also stands for gear, so it applies for more than just guitars. Guitarists have a habit to think we need more guitars. And you even got me a t-shirt. I really need all these guitars, or something like that. Anyway, so both of them were quite influential, amazing musicians. And of course, Walter has passed, and Donald is famously just irascible, easy, hard to please. And he reportedly hates the term yacht rock. He doesn't want to be considered that for his music. But the producer, who at the end, I think it's almost credits flowing, not to be a spoiler alert, but this is a spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
So
warning.
Know this. So anyway, at the end, it's almost like when the credits are rolling, because everyone wonders, where's Donald Fagen? Probably. I did. But I'd heard that this is what happened. So the producer calls him, gets him on the phone somehow, and says, "Hey, I forgot the name, but he said, I'm so-and-so, and glad to talk to you. I'm doing a documentary on music that you played, and people played with you. I've interviewed a lot of people. They've said great things about you and your music, and I would like to introduce you, or I'd like to interview you for this genre." And Donald says, "Yeah, what genre is that?" And Donald Fagen says, with a swear word, which I won't say,
"Poop.
You
poop,"
and hung up the phone. And that is what you would expect from Donald Fagen. That is exactly what you would expect.
He got the genre wrong, or
he doesn't like to be called. He doesn't want to be called that because it's an insult to him. And a lot of them thought it was an insult to them because it implies easy listening. And actually, Steely Dan music is quite it's difficult to play. They had the best studio musicians, and they would have like a string of guitarists come in and play the parts, and they would send. I read interviews of guys who would come in and spend hours trying to do a solo behind the track, And they would say, no, not good enough. Keep trying. These are studio A-class studio musicians that are being treated like scum of the earth. No, we'll leave. We'll get somebody else. And some of them said, I didn't even know which solo was picked until I heard the song on the radio, and I recognized that it was my solo that I played that they selected. I mean, these guys were famously, Walter has passed, rest in peace, hard to deal with. But the result kind of speaks for itself. I mean, Asia, which is probably the pinnacle of their accomplishments, which I think came out the year 70s, late 70s. They had famously, especially for the song Asia, which was on the album, they had 280 some mixes. I mean, normally my engineer sends me a mix. I like he just sent me one today. I said, that's fine. The first mix, because he's a professional. He does a great job. He manages the home studio for Kane Brown. So Kane Brown, if you know, big country star. So, I mean, this guy's no slouch. He knows what he's doing. So what am I to tell him that he did it wrong? But Donald was so picky that he made them do so many remixes that the engineers got so tired of. They actually made him a fake. They made him an award when he got to 250, which is tongue-in-cheek award. 250th mix on this song, and that still wasn't enough. And he finally got to, I think it was 282 or something like that. But the proof is in the pudding. Hey, Babovic. Andrea, I'm so sorry if I'm not saying your name right. Thank you for joining us. That album, to this day, is used to check sound systems. We were talking about this with my buddy Jim, and he said he's gone to recent concerts, when they have everything set up and they want to check how the PA is doing. They put Asia by Steely Dan through the speakers to check it out. And or even mixing engineers, if they want to calibrate their system or check their mix to see if it's up to the standards of Asia. So sometimes perfection takes 282 tries to get there. But famously, you didn't have to be a jerk doing it. But maybe that's the only way they could be that good. They're very cynical. If you listen to the lyrics, very cynical. I mean, I love Steely Dan. I listen to them a lot because the musicianship is so high. And they're considered by many to be part of the Yacht Rock canon. But Donald Fagen don't like that. So, interesting.
You heard it here first. Tim says he's way too picky. You heard it here first. That's what I got from all that. That's what I got. No, just kidding.
Did you even listen? My nephew checked out. Didn't even listen. Didn't even care. We've been going for a while now. Is it an hour?
Oh, getting close to it, but we'll go to wrap it up, though.
Apologize for the false starts. We have 2 false starts. I've tried to erase them already. There might be 1 or 2 still up there. So
we'll keep you jumping. Keep you jumping. You'll find us.
We try to be regular now, but it's I gotta say the regular schedule is primarily on one of the members of the podcast.
Bob, what'd you do this time?
Not on me. On another member of the podcast.
I take full responsibility. I don't like missing that much, but I definitely did fill up to it. And but now hopefully we'll be back Tuesday and live at 5:00, and we guys will see you then. If you're not following us, feel free to follow us on Instagram, Facebook. You can, if you just want to listen to the podcast on Spotify. I guess the video's on there too, and then on Apple. And most of you guys, of course, see us on Facebook. Appreciate that. So feel free to click on it, and share it. That helps get us out to more people. And guys, we will see you next time on Adventures in No Sugar, No Cream.